for men at Ball State.
Thank you, John. The purpose of this morning's gathering is frankly to announce that Ball State University will compete in intercollegiate football with Mid-American Conference member Ohio University in the first Shamrock Crystal Bowl to be played in Killarney, Ireland, November the 17th. And that is the essence of this morning's meeting. Obviously, Coach Shadell has been informed of this as we've worked through the particulars in conjunction, of course, with the president of the university. And we think it offers an outstanding opportunity for the student athletes representing both institutions to share in some international culture and I think have perhaps better understanding between the two countries. So we look forward to this opportunity and think it represents a first for Ball State and a wonderful chance for the young people at both institutions. And I'd like to have head coach Paul Shadell give his thoughts on this upcoming game.
Well, I think it's going to be, when I was first informed about it, it was very interesting, and I mentioned it briefly to our staff, and I think they were all unanimously excited about doing it, especially with several Irishmen on the staff. They look forward to that, and I think as an announced it to the team last night just briefly and told them that, and I think each and every one of them was very excited about the possibility of traveling to Ireland and playing the game. You know, we hope that it's a game that possibly will decide the championship at that time, or hopefully maybe have it decided by then. But just a great experience, not only for us as a football team, but for the university, and just another segment of the educational experience of playing football and going to school. And we're excited about it and looking forward to it.
Inasmuch as this type of endeavor is much more far-reaching than just the athletic department and impacts on the entire university and its alumni, we would like President John Worthen to comment and offer his views on this particular event. Dr. Worthen?
Thank you, Don. I would concur with Coach Shadell's analysis. We think this is an exciting opportunity for our football team. It's going to be a fun part of the fall football season. It will give our students an opportunity to travel and to be ambassadors to represent the university. They've done that in a superb way in all of our sports in the last many years, and this is just another opportunity to give some emphasis to the fact that we're in a world community, and our goal to internationalize the university carries beyond the classroom and into our intercollegiate sports activities. I think we should also indicate that because the Indiana State game has been moved from the Hoosier Dome to the campuses, and this year will be played at Ball State as a home game, we will still have our normal 4 home game schedule. And so even with the move of this game to Killarney, Ireland, we'll still have 4 home games and plenty of opportunity for fans to see our team. So we think it's going to be exciting. It'll be a fun opportunity not only for the team and the coaching staff, but also for some of those fans, alumni, members of the university who will take the opportunity to visit Ireland and see the game and also do some traveling at the same time.
The fourth gentleman seated at the head table here this morning, of course, is the mayor of Muncie, Mr. Jim Carey, and somehow has a long-standing interest in Ireland from a personal standpoint. And so, Jim, we'd like a comment from yourself regarding this particular opportunity for the university and the community of Muncie to travel to Ireland and what that means.
Thank you, Don. I appreciate the invitation to be invited out. And Coach Paul and President John, I think that these fellows have really touched on the main thing, but as I look back and reflect, in the last 6 years of what's happened in our university, this is just the epitome of things that are going on. And I think number one is that it's a class institution based on the faculties and education, and secondly, we are strengthening our athletic program, which they go hand in hand. If you make them both work together, that can be done, and Ball State exemplifies that kind of a program. I think when we look at the Shamrock Crystal Bowl, of course, Waterford has a beautiful factory there in Killarney where they make all the beautiful crystal glass and things like that, and I think it'll be a great educational venture for our young students and also for the coaching staff, and again, another great example of what our university can do.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, we would be happy to entertain questions regarding the particulars of the trip if anyone is so inclined in the audience. The date is November the 17th. The game will be a regular Mid-American Conference contest, and as Coach Shadell indicated, will count in the standings, and of course that impacts on the California Raisin Bowl as well as this particular venture in Ireland. Any questions, please? Jim Lessig, the commissioner of the Mid-American Conference, and expressed some interest in having two members of the conference participate in this contest. It is something of a spin-off of the Emerald Isle Classic, which began a few years ago. He did in the early games with Army. I believe last year Pittsburgh played with Rutgers, and the Irish Tourist Board found that the test being played in Ireland, they had developed some continuity, and they didn't want that gap in there, and so they approached the Mid-American Conference about this opportunity. The commissioner then examined the date, looked at the schedules and so forth, and came to the respective institutions that were involved. Mr. Jim Abley, who works for sports marketing out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, they're the promotional arm of this particular event, and very similar perhaps to what we've been able to do putting packages together relative to the California Raisin Bowl and also to our recent self. Maury, I believe you were next.
Don, without being specific, financially, is this good, bad? Do they cover the expenses? Is it a profit-making venture? Obviously, the public relations is a profit in itself, I realize.
The public relations and the educational benefits, which are inherent to our student athletes, are considerable. I'm not sure that we can say that it will be a profit-making venture. We're hopeful that it's